Let forgiveness lead our footsteps. Let our gentle voices speak. We are strongest when we're tender. We defend the faint and weak.
Let us heal this world with kindness. Let our hearts unite as one. Let the tears we shed for others shine like stars when night is done. If tomorrow feels uncertain, hold to love, stand strong and tall. For a better world is blooming, and there's light inside us all.
For a better world is blooming, and there's light inside us all. For a better world is blooming, and there's light inside us all.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of the Rappahannock, and Happy New Year. I'm Janet Hemming. I'll be your service leader this morning. We're glad that you have joined us here where everyone is welcome and everyone is loved. Please note that there are announcements in your order of service on the front page. Take a look at those. A special welcome this morning to any visitors. We don't have visitors. I don't think we've got people who haven't been here in a while. So welcome to those who are back after a long time or even a short time having been sick. Our chalice lighting this morning. We light this chalice at the turning of the year when the old stories loosen their grip and the new ones have not yet taken shape. May this small flame remind us that love is both a gift and a practice, something we offer freely and something we allow ourselves to receive. As we cross this threshold into the new year, may we soften where we have been guarded, open where we have been closed, and trust that giving and receiving love is how we heal, how we grow, and how we begin again. Let this light guide our intentions, warm our courage, and illuminate the path we walk together. Our opening words this morning are by Andrew Pakula. Come into this circle of community. Come into this sacred space. Be not tentative. Bring your whole self. Bring the joy that makes your heart sing. Bring your kindness and compassion. Bring also your sorrow and your pain. Bring your brokenness and your disappointments. Spirit of love and mystery, help us to recognize the spark of the divine that resides within each of us. May we know the joy of wholeness, and may we know the joy of being together. Our speaker this morning is our own Marlie Avant. Just a few months ago, Marlie agreed to serve as our lay minister, which means that she will be leading the service once a month. For those of you who don't know her well, and I think many of us do, but there's a little thing that she wrote about herself in her resume that I thought might be interesting to you. I have chosen a path where learning happens not just in classrooms, but in the living world, through mentorship, cultural immersion, service, and deep personal inquiry. My journey has carried me across continents and traditions, from indigenous healing circles to expressive arts therapy, from hospice care to spiritual leadership. Every experience has been a classroom, and each encounter a lesson, shaping me into a guide who values wisdom, compassion, and authenticity above all. So we welcome Marlie to guide us this morning.
Since today's talk is on reciprocity, I thought I'd share this with you. It's from Robin Wall Kimmerer, a member of the Citizens of the Potawatomi Nation and author of Braiding Sweetgrass, in the excerpts shared by the Center of Action and Contemplation. The ceremonial giveaway is an echo of our oldest teachings. Generosity is simultaneously a moral and a material imperative, especially among people who lived close to the land and know its waves of plenty and scarcity. Where the well-being of one is linked to the well-being of all. Wealth among traditional people is measured by having enough to give away. Our word for the giveaway is minewok, means they give from the heart. The berries trust that we will uphold our end of the bargain and disperse their seeds to new places to grow. They remind us that all flourishing is mutual. We need the berries, and the berries need us. Their gifts multiply by our care of them and dwindle from our neglect. We are bound in a covenant of reciprocity, a pact of mutual responsibility to sustain those who sustain us. The moral covenant of reciprocity calls us to honor our responsibilities for all we have been given, for all that we have taken. It's our turn now, long overdue. Whatever our gift, we are called to give it and to dance for the renewal of the world. As we step into another year together, let us pause and truly arrive in this moment, bringing open hearts, gentle curiosity for what the year will bring, and the fullness of who we are. This moment is a threshold, a passage between all that is behind us and all that waits before us. Take a breath. Feel the quiet support of this fellowship as I do, how it holds us, how it comforts us, how it brings us connection. These are truly the important things. Notice the spirit here, the flickering light of hope, resilient through hardship, growing stronger with every kindness. We gather not only to mark time, but to transform it together. Today, let us set our intention to honor what is sacred in ourselves and in one another, and to explore how the flow of reciprocity can shape our lives. In this fellowship, grace lives in everyday action. Refreshments shared, visitors greeted with a warm smile, bulletins handed out, each warm card or heartfelt check-in on someone who may not be feeling quite up to par. Our community flourishes not by accident, but by our spirit of generosity and by the quiet care so often unseen. Each of you, in your own way, add a vital thread to this tapestry that we weave together. And yet at times, what is asked of us can feel overwhelming, especially amid the demands of busy lives. Many of us find ourselves growing older. We can feel frustration when our sincere desire to help begins to feel as though we are sacrificing time and energy that we may not have to spare. Let's look again at the meaning of sacrifice. Sacer facere, from Latin, to make sacred. It invites us to a different way of seeing. What if every act, even those that seem small to us, could become sacred through the spirit in which it is given? Imagine your routine labors transformed by love and intention, service as spiritual practice, uplifting our hearts and quietly strengthening our community. You may have heard of the saying, chop wood, carry water. It is a simple phrase, yet it points to karma yoga, the yoga of daily life. We are invited to do what we do, even if that means we do nothing, and to dedicate the fruits to this great mystery, however you call it, something larger than ourselves. We act not for our own grasping desires, but in harmony with something larger than ourselves. Seen in this way, we do what we do because it is in harmony with what the universe requires. If I am an artist and I paint a canvas, I am not under the illusion that I alone am painting. The canvas is the paint. The paint is, the painting is. I, when I am fortunate, become the hollow bamboo. I am the witness. I stand back in wonder and feel the dance of creation move through me, and I stand back in awe. As the hollow bamboo, there is nothing to give and nothing to get. There is only being at ease in the here and now, without clinging or attachment, and with the gratitude of knowing that life supports us, even when we don't believe it does. Each act moves through us effortlessly, and life flows then from a sacred source. Seen in this light, a deeper wisdom appears, the ancient and indigenous understanding that life itself is holy when it is lived simply through us, rather than controlled by us. Among those who listen to the land and read the language of the seasons, we are called to return to rhythm, to humility and gratitude for the ordinary things in our lives. In a world full of hurry and complexity, stillness calls us to notice what truly matters. What if the little things, the quiet welcomes, the simple gestures are actually the big things, waiting for us to honor them? In the high Andes, the Queros people of Peru speak of ayni, which means sacred reciprocity. They understand that we must give and receive in equal measure. We are designed to cooperate harmoniously with nature, and this includes our own human nature. If we are always giving, we become out of balance, exhausted, burned out, or even ill. Similarly, if we are always receiving without giving back again, we disturb the natural flow of life. Ayni is not transactional. It's not that I help you and then you help me in a scorekeeping way. It's more a pay it forward principle when we are consistently loving, caring, and giving to each other and to the earth, and we allow ourselves to truly receive the blessings given to us. It is only natural that our needs are met in a more harmonious way. This fills us with a sense of abundance and gratitude. How often do we take time to thank our food, to thank those that brought it to the table, to thank the earth itself for its generous offering? To live this way, we must be present with what life offers and slow down enough to pause in profound awe and gratitude. Gratitude is a sacred act that all spiritual teachings point toward. If we are always rushing to the next thing, or if we are so exhausted we cannot see what life continually gives us, we lose the gift that gratitude itself bestows. Gratitude is an elixir that fills our hearts and brings us back into harmony and balance. Life force needs to move, to flow, to give, and to receive in equal measure. This is its dance, its gift. Such is the foundation of the spirituality and healing arts of the Cueros of the high Andes, who center their lives on sacred reciprocity and balance. In the Ubuntu tradition of sub-Saharan Africa, we hear another expression of this same truth. I am because we are. Archbishop Desmond Tutu said, "We believe that a person is a person through other persons, that my humanity is caught up, bound up inextricably with yours. When I dehumanize you, I dehumanize myself. The solitary human being is a contradiction in terms. Therefore, you see, seek to work for the common good because your humanity comes into its own in community, in belonging." There is a story told about a group of children in an African village. An anthropologist placed a basket of sweets near a distant tree and told the children whoever reached the tree first would win the whole basket. When she shouted, "Go," the children took one another's hands and ran together and then sat in a circle to share the sweets. When the anthropologist asked them why they had run together like that when one of them could have won the whole thing, a child said, "How could one of us be happy if all the others are sad?" In that simple gesture, the anthropologist glimpsed the heart of Ubuntu, the understanding that our joy is intertwined. Here in this fellowship, everyone belongs, not by earning or doing, but simply by being. Our community is not just a Sunday gathering, but a sanctuary of belonging, a circle where each person's light is welcomed and needed and cherished. Light does not require your effort. It shines naturally through your being. Let another story speak to this quiet power of coming together, even in lean times. Many of you know the old tale of stone soup. Once in a small rural village, the cupboards were nearly bare and spirits ran low. A pair of travelers arrived carrying nothing but an empty pot and a stone. They set the pot over a fire in the village square and announced that they were making stone soup. Curious villagers gathered. The travelers explained, "It's coming along nicely, but it would be better with a carrot or a potato or maybe an onion." One by one, the kitchens and gardens were emptied of one less fruit or vegetable, one less vegetable, just what they could spare. What began as nothing but water and hope became a rich, fragrant soup, more nourishing than one person could have created alone. At sunset, the whole village sat together to share soup and stories, warmed by a new sense of possibility. Each person's small offering, joined with the others, became a feast of abundance and connection. As we step into this new year with our own region facing hard times, a few of us have a vision of beginning a new tradition here in this fellowship. During this winter season, we would like to host a stone soup gathering twice a month for starts. On the Sunday before, you would bring a potato, an onion, a carrot, or just your encouragement and a smile. And Ruth, Roy, and I will make a large pot of soup to warm you on a chilly day. This is how we will begin. And if it feels nourishing and right, and if you agree, we can extend that welcome to those in need in our wider community. In this way, our simple acts of giving and receiving may become a living expression of ayni, of Ubuntu, and of the sacred reciprocity at the heart of life. In our rural area, where the bonds of community are already strong, this simple act could become a living example of sacred reciprocity, showing how much we can create together, even when times are difficult and resources are few. Just as with stone soup, every gift, large or small, matters. Our fellowship is the pot, our caring is the fire, and our hope is the seasoning. Together we would nourish more than bodies. We would nourish hearts, spirits, and the ache of loneliness that so often shadows hard seasons. This is how generosity and belonging become tangible. This is how we transform me into we, and how healing flows where hope is most needed. Indeed, to flow into the stream of life's generosity is a sacred act. And sometimes life calls us to slow down. To honor it, we may have to say no. That too becomes a sacred offering, an act of love for ourselves and for others. Every time we honor our truth, a quiet ripple of healing moves outward, touching more than we know. We all need that truth. We all need the courage to say no. I need to rest. I need to pause. For in the slowing down, in that space of still presence, we begin to recharge. A calm steadiness returns, a peace that washes through the body and soul. It nourishes, it comforts, and it enfolds us. In that stillness, a knowing arises, a gentle yet sure, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, as Julian of Norwich so tenderly expressed. This is the quiet grace that lives both within and around us. It moves through those who are open enough to be its vessel. We become such vessels when we surrender our need to do, to control, to race through our days crowded with noise and demands. When we soften, when we fall back in the arms of pure presence, we discover that we are indeed held. This presence is real. It can be felt. It is soft, boundless, and all-embracing. It whispers through every breath, assuring us again and again that all is well. All manner of things are well. As the body loosens and the mind yields, we let go, we surrender. And in that surrender, grace moves. We begin to trust life itself to guide our way amid all of our activity. For in that holy flow, we are no longer the doers. It is grace that moves through us. We are the receivers, the vessels through which life unfolds effortlessly. And we are grateful. I am reminded of a moment years ago sitting in a restaurant in Monterey, California. I was transfixed by a young Japanese sushi chef at work. Every gesture of his hands was filled with grace, gliding in quiet partnership with what seemed a silent inner harmony. His focus and tenderness of a discipline that transcended the routine. This was not merely food preparation, but an act of reverence and grace. He was co-creating with his own divinity. He was a hollow bamboo. When he presented his artistry on a simple wooden tray, he bowed gently before us. In his gesture, receiving became as sacred as giving, a silent blessing inviting intimacy. He was transmitting the very grace he danced with. For a moment, I thought every step of this man's day must glow with a deep inner harmony and connection with the ineffable grace that flows through him. He left a beautiful imprint on me, a reminder that the ordinary can be transformed and made luminous moment to moment. And in that way, we offer a sacred gift. Simone de Beauvoir wrote, "That's what I consider true generosity. You give your all, and yet you always feel as if it cost you nothing. And that's because you are filled." This kind of generosity arises when giving flows from a place of inner alignment rather than duty or depletion. In our lives, when we honor the flow of giving and receiving, our hearts and our community grow stronger. There are times we need to say no and retreat into ourselves. There are times we need others. There are times we can give. In every moment, we are carried not merely by our own strength, but by the ineffable, all-abiding inner spirit and our shared spirit. Then we create a river of compassion, courage, beauty, hope, and generosity. This is the testimony of sacred reciprocity. Our circle is made whole by grace and by each person's presence, by our open hearts and our open hands, one for giving and one for receiving. It takes two hands to form the gesture of a prayer. And when both hands are open in gratitude for gifts offered and gifts received, our prayers, our intentions are answered in ways seen and unseen. As we close, I invite you, and some of you are sitting alone, but take the hand of the person next to you and enter a space of reflection, whatever that means to you. You may wish to bow your head, close your eyes, or simply rest in the shared silence and shelter of this fellowship as I share a blessing for us to start this new year. Spirit of life, source of all that is sacred, we gather in gratitude for this circle of belonging, for the breath that joins us. We give thanks for kindness given and received. Grant us wisdom to know when to reach out and humility to receive help when we need it. Let our acts, large and small, be offerings that build up this fellowship in the greater community. May we allow grace and presence to infuse our routine acts. May we see each task, each offering, not as obligation, but as a sacred opportunity to bring light to each other and to our beloved world. May these intentions carry us into the days ahead, and may it be so. Thank you.
That was great. That was one of the better speeches that I have heard. Because, how come that we have it in us to be better than other people? I don't understand that. Why? Because this sounds so simple. Help us.
What a wonderful way to begin the year. Is such an amazing thing. And what you talked about in terms of the question is simply that issue that the Lakota Indians say is the longest journey, the 12 inches from here to here. And that is what we're up about. And so in these times when, our president is invading other countries, which is outrageous, we have a choice. And that choice is whether to engage in that. That means we're feeding the dark wolf, or take those simple things that we're doing in our everyday life and really be present. So thank you for that wonderful reminder.
Exactly what it's saying, that every good that you give is going to come back to you multiple times. And it was just a reciproc, whatever the word is. I'm sorry, I can't say it. But yes, it reminded me of that book very much.
Well, one of the points I was trying to make is that we don't stop long enough to just be present with ourselves, to know that this breath is such a generous gift. And what is this breath coming into us? It's a mystery that's keeping us alive. And as we start to really count the many ways that life is supporting us, we recognize that we don't do this alone, that we aren't in control of everything. There is this great mystery that is orchestrating it all. And we can, slowly but surely, through our gratitude, through our presence, enter that flow. And it does make things easier. And I think, so often in our culture, it's, if somebody does for me, you almost don't receive the gift fully because you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do it. That's not what it's about. It really isn't. The universe will make sure you get what you receive. You get what you need. I know it doesn't feel like. We often block it with our negativity. We don't open to life and trust and have faith that the sun is shining on all of us. The rain falls on all of us where it falls. The generosity of what comes up from Mother Earth to feed us. We don't stop and just see the awe and mystery and all of that and know that we're a part of it. And when we start to align ourselves with that and align ourselves with our truth and say no when we need to say no because something in us is saying, just sit a while, just receive a while, just be grateful for a while. And you are perfect just as you are. You are a light. It shines on us all. And as we give then, we're not doing it alone. It's not a burden. And as we receive, we don't feel guilty and go immediately to, oh, now I have to do that. Oh, I didn't do that. You start to recognize in that saying, thank you, you're giving a gift. And that person will receive because they've offered someone. So it's our letting go of our doership and our control and our overdoing. You know, I think just being together is the greatest gift we have in this fellowship, and our honesty with one another. This connection is such a rare gift, and when we let it fill us and we go out in the world, others feel that. I have felt it from each one of you. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Marlie, for a great start to the new year.